Hey everybody, we are live now. Excited to have you on the stream with us today. So we are going to be showing you our QUIPS Reloaded, kind of a relaunch of QUIPS with a lot of new capabilities, a lot of new features. And Salem, who's with me today, he's going to be really excited to show that off to you. So a little bit about Salem, electrical engineering degree, and worked in the power industry, went to grad school and started at Q-PAC with the electrical team. And then recently he started working with the sales and customer success team, and now he's the account manager for the West Coast as well as internal business development manager. So he's going to be the one actually giving the presentation to you today, walking you through everything that QUIPS is now going to be able to offer for you. And then on the back side of things, behind the scenes, we have Mark, and Mark is our head of design, and he's been with Q-PAC for a little over 4 years now, from in various roles, from mechanical design to product management. So that being said, we do have a chat over on the side. Please feel free to use it throughout the entire presentation. Mark will be the one responding to you. I will jump in to help do some emceeing. Mark will jump in to do some answering, but the main presentation is going to be with Salem today. There are going to be a lot of questions. We already just know this because there's a lot of new features, a lot of things that are changing for you guys, but everything that in the end is going to make things simpler, faster, better, more efficient for you across the entire project management chain. So please put your questions in. At the end, we will have time for questions and answers, and we'll be able to review a lot of this for you. And if anybody even has a project that they'd like to see worked on through the new QUIPS situation, feel free to put it in the chat or in a question. And at the end, we can probably work through that with you all. So with that being said, I'm going to drop off the channel. I'm going to have Salem take over, and we're going to get this thing rolling. Go ahead, Salem.
All right. Eddie, thank you for the introduction. Welcome, everyone, to unPAC 15, QUIPS Reloaded. I'm Salem Homrighausen, the Western Account Manager, as Eddie explained. And today I'm going to be demonstrating the updates we've made to QUIPS. It's our configure price quote tool. I imagine everyone on the call is familiar with QUIPS, at least to some degree. It is a very powerful tool that we've developed here at Q-PAC, and it makes it so much easier to come up with a submittal and a quote and selections of our product for your customer. Um, yeah, we actually have a whole dedicated software team that maintains QUIPS and the background products that enable QUIPS to run. And the big theme of this is that QUIPS is going to be much faster, it's going to be more streamlined, and it's going to require a lot fewer clicks to get your selection. So yeah, before we get started, I just want to mention that this is going to go live on June 3rd. So what's going to happen is the day before, we're going to send all the current QUIPS users an email that it's going to tell you more about your access, and if you already have an account, it's going to prompt you to update your password and kind of get you going that way. All the existing projects are in the process of being transferred over now, and because QUIPS in its current form versus what these updates are going to bring to it, there's going to be some differences between the configurations you're going to get in either of the two versions. So some will not be available in this new version of QUIPS, and we can deal with that on a case-by-case basis. If you see a selection isn't appearing that should, feel free to reach out to your account manager, myself, or you can actually submit a special request in the software yourself. All right, so let's start out. So you're going to go to quips.io just like you normally would. Right now, you see my screen. I'm actually in the staging domain, but that's just for demonstration purposes. And you're going to use your username and your email address to log in here. Previously, if you ever had an issue logging in, let's say your password didn't work, you'd always reach out to one of us and we'd reset it for you. Now we just have a little hyperlink here for forgot password. You click that, you enter your email, and we'll send you a link to reset it. So let's start. I'm going to hit login. And we've got a couple different projects here. Give me 1 second. Go ahead and archive that. Okay. So we're starting out. We're just gonna. This is kind of to mimic the old QUIPS. This is basically all the different projects that are gonna be in your office. That's your specific office in QUIPS, whichever company you're with, right? And to start out, I'm just gonna go ahead and create a project. So we're gonna create it. Just gonna come up with the name here. Let's see. How about 368 38th Street. If anybody can figure out what that is, by the end of this, you're going to get like half off an order or something. So you should look it up. We're going to call it a fan replacement, and we'll call it a religious worship center. We're going to hit create. All right. And this is kind of going back to, it's a parallel to the old QUIPS. This is going to be basically the combination of your quote and your like sandbox selection area. That's one of the main differences with the new QUIPS is that once you create a selection and you have a product going, it's going to update on the bottom left-hand corner. So it's going to update your price as you're configuring things. So you don't have to worry about making an additional quote. It basically just streamlines that process of selection and submit and coming up with your submittals and your quotes. So what we'll do to start is we're going to add a product. And it's the same process as QUIPS Legacy. I'm just going to do AHU1 AHU-1. I'm going to say we've got 18,000 CFM, 5 inches static, say 64 by 64. And then we're going to go ahead and say it's a premium controls package. We've got the left handing on the quick connect box. We've got the indoor NEMA 1 control panel, and then we've got a blank off plate instead of dampers. So hit save and then submit. And now we return these 3 selections, right? So one of the new things is that we're actually displaying now your total motor horsepower for the array at the array level or the smart fan level, depends on the nomenclature we're going to go with here. And then we're also going to include the FEI, which is your fan energy index. So that's kind of an additional efficiency metric is kind of the way to think about it. For now, I'm just going to leave it at that. It is relatively linearly related with efficiency, but if you have any more questions about how they relate together, we can always discuss them offline. So looking at these 3 selections, looks like the 79 is the best. It's got the lowest MOCP. It's got the same efficiency as the 78s. It's got a little bit more redundancy and a slightly lower sound level. So we're going to go ahead and select that one. All right, and the preliminary drawings are going to appear up here. We have some more performance information down below. We've added the airflow versus power graph over here. You can also see the DXF and the 3-view drawings are going to be also available in the same place they were before. We also are now showing you guys what your maximum airflow is at the rated pressure and the max pressure at the airflow. So in other words, you selected this 4-pack of 79s to do 18,000 CFM at 5 inches of static. But if you really want to max it out, you could actually hit up to 22,288 CFM at 5.72 inches of static. All right, so we've got that. We're going to just X out of that one. And then I want to show you guys a couple features here. So you can see the 3-view, the DXF for the CAD drawing, and then the assembly diagrams here as well. And then your project documents, your quote and your submittal are going to appear over here. So just a little bit of change in the orientation of where things are going. All right. We go back to projects. Take a look at this pre-existing project. Let's say that you're back in your office or you're back in your office's QUIPS directory, and you want to update an existing project. So we're going to click on Nakatomi Plaza over here. Classic reference there. Thanks, Mark. And let's say, or actually, I'm going to demonstrate this alternate system to you. So we let's say we have our first selection in this alternate 1, right? And kind of the way we want to organize these different things is the Nakatomi Plaza is your project, and then this is going to be your product is SF1. So we'll have 2 products in here. So project, product, and then this is going to be your first selection. And we refer to the different selections that are in here as alternates. So we click on the first one, take a look. Okay, that's how you remember it. Looks good. But you know what? I think we want to give it N+1 redundancy. So we're just going to hit add alternate. And what that does is it takes whatever the first alternate project is in here, and it's going to copy all the information from it and then allow you to rename it. So it's just a rapid way to come up with different types of selections for you. So we call it N+1. Hit submit. And now we're going to click on the tag name for that. All right, and we want an N+1 redundancy. So there is the 8-pack of 523s for the first selection. Here's the 9-pack of 523s for the second selection. Select that, and that's it. And it's super simple. And now we want to pick which one of these want to be the primary selection. So alternate 1, if you want to make that the primary, you're going to hit make primary. And now that you have 2 primary selections created, you could submit your order. In a regular selection, you're going to see both the prices for both of these systems be added up in your subtotal on the bottom left. But in this case, we're going to make N+1 the primary. We're going to go from there. So another thing I want to show you is let's take a look at this for RF for the RF1 product. Let's take a look at this one. We're going to say add alternate. We're going to call this one revised dimensions. So let's say for this one, you went out, you measured it, you have a system, and then you're talking to the contractor, you're talking to the building owner, and they're saying, well, I think we actually want to move this a little bit further downstream from the cooling coil, or you want to move a little bit further away from the cooling coil. So they're going to say, hey, it's a narrower area. It's actually going to be in a space that's 85 by 100, or I'm sorry, it's going to be 80 by 100. We hit submit. We're going to click on this guy. And unfortunately, you can't hit that performance point in those dimensions. So we're going to say, okay, well, let's submit a special request. And once you go to the special request field, you can have different request types. You can have your dimensions here, your layout. Basically, you can say, you can request the dimensions you want to build it at, or you can move the actual fans by some different offset to account for any kind of obstructions in the airstream. But in this case, we're just going to type in there. Oop, that's the wrong thing. Sorry, guys. We're just going to say customer wanted to move the product into a narrower section of the air handler. Please see if all right. We're going to hit save changes. Okay, we're going to back out of these boxes, hit save changes, and we have requested the special. So we X out of this. I'm going to go look at our selection here, and it's going to say special request status submitted. And what will happen is that now that we have a special request that is in progress, you cannot submit the order. So you do still have your two main or your primary selections. You can tell because they're in white here and they don't have the gray background. But since there's a special request that is pending or that has been canceled, if one has been denied, then you also will not be able to submit. You'll have to remove that selection. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go back here. We're going to remove request, hit OK, go back here, and then you're going to see that once we make these the alt, let's see, hold on, I got to pick a selection. 1 second, everybody. Hit update. All right, we're going to pick the 79s here. All right. Okay, and now you can submit the order. Basically, the way that works is if you have another selection and it doesn't have if you have another an alternate product and it doesn't have a selection, then you need to make a selection or you need to remove it from here. So we're going to select remove 2. And usually it might take a little while, but just give it a minute. All right, and so we would just hit submit order at this point and we would go from there. So some other things I want to go over here. You can also include or exclude products. So let's say there's a situation where let's say you're working with a hospital or something and there's like 100 air handlers. You have this massive project and they only want to release certain pieces of it in stages. And you might have 50 air handlers in this selection area, and you might have 50 products in your selection viewing. Let's say they only want to release 10 for the next 6 months or something. In that case, what you could do is you could just go through each one of the products and you could just hit this include button, and it's going to toggle over to excluded, and now you're only going to have the included selections are going to show up in your price over here. So we're going to go to excluded, turn that off, and that's that feature. Okay, cool. And another thing I want to show you guys, we have a resources tab as well. So this used to be documents. I know hopefully y'all have a lot of puns fans around here, but it's now our resources section, and it's going to have all the documentation that you need for the product. So depending on the product version you have, and you can click through each one of these, there's going to be the set of documents that will pertain to that. So the retrofit installation guide, for example, doesn't have an edition later than 1.3.1, so it's going to stop here. You won't see anything for 1.4. But the quick start wiring diagrams have changed. So you're just going to kind of line up the correct version of your installation guides with whatever the wiring diagram is there. All right, there's some more things as well here. You can find your version number. You can look at the product spec as well. But yeah, let's go back to projects. Okay. All right, I'm gonna go back to Nakatomi Plaza here. So I want to show you guys kind of the process of what it looks like to actually submit a project. And here's how we're gonna do that. We're basically just gonna click submit order, review the order. So we've got the 9-pack of 523s up here. We've got the 7-pack of 79s. And we're gonna review this. Okay, looks good. The pricing is going to be for just these two systems. We hit next. Then we're gonna use our new address book feature to select an address. So let's pick Nakatomi Plaza there. We're going to ship it to the site, and it's going to fill out all the information for you. So if you don't have an address, if the address is not in your address book, then you're just going to enter it manually. So, all right, we hit next. All right, we've got Bill Clay, phone number 71187. Looks good to us. Okay, hit next. And then purchase order, you're going to type in your purchase order here. And if you'd like to, you can also attach your PO to the submission area. So we're just going to do 675,309. There we go. We're going to hit done. All right, so this order has been submitted. So this is what's going to look like once you've submitted the order. The two products are going to roll up. Shipping information is at the top here, and you're going to be prevented from submitting another order using this project. So it really just kind of helps you organize your work better. That way you don't have multiple orders off of one job. All right. So we went over resources, got everything there. And that is pretty much it, everybody. Yeah, I think we can open up for questions now. Eddie, you want to jump in here, or Mark?
Perfect. Yeah. So I'm jumping in. I'm going to add Mark to the stage as well. So you may not be able to see him, but he will be able to unmute his mic and be available to answer questions. So as you can see,
Excellent.
just a lot of different options that are moving in. It's easier for you to facilitate your project management, your quoting, your pricing, your staffing, really starting to streamline that process for you guys in the driver's seat to make it happen. So yeah, everything's open for questions. Please submit them in the chat, and Salem or Mark will be happy to answer them. And while we're waiting for you all to type those in, just putting it on your radar, we love to do announcements of the events that we'll be having. October 17th, we will be hosting our unPAC Summit again. So it's a one-day event this year down at our campus in Elkton, Florida. We would love to have all of you. Is open to contractors, reps, customers, whoever it is, and we would love to have you. Feel free to email me directly, or Morgan, our events person, is actually probably better. I can put her email in the chat if you're looking and interested. Feel free to also let us know on LinkedIn if you're interested in coming, but we'd love to have you all. Putting that in the chat now.
All right. Yes, Evan, you're correct. That's half off of your next order. You guessed it correctly. Congratulations.
Salem's out here making business deals.
Oh, yeah. That's what we're doing, right?
All right. Well, yeah, again, this is a pretty quick one. So all of this will be available. This entire presentation will be available on YouTube as well as on QPAC.com. If you go under Resource Center, our unPAC has its own page where all unPACs, the current one and the prior ones, will live. You'll be able to access these, show them to whoever you need to, look at them again. Like Salem said, June 3rd is the rollout. So be looking for information on that the day before. And yeah, again.
Actually, yeah, I've got one more thing I wanted to touch on, actually, Eddie. Let me share my screen again, guys. Give me 1 second here. So there was one thing I forgot. If you want to view your address book, one of the new features we added, you're going to go over to your account over here and click on My Account, and then you're going to click on the address book. And this is kind of where you're going to add these addresses that you want to use frequently. So it just kind of takes a step away. You don't have to type everything manually. You can make something if it's going to come often or if not. So. And I haven't got that, so let's go ahead and put that there. And it was 386 38th Street. It's going to be in Astoria, Oregon, and some zip code. All right, cool. We got that. Oh, Willie One Eye here.
You got a lot of explaining to do to Evan's account manager. So.
Oh yeah.
Phone call. Yeah.
Oh, great.
All right. So first question's from Matt Sapaniak. Will submittals, let me start that over. Will submittals with specials be included in the project?
Mark, that's a great question for you, I believe.
Yes. So it was actually one of the big changes we wanted to make with Q-PAC. Previously in legacy QUIPS, if you were to do any sort of update or a special request to a project, submittals that were updated were all handled outside of QUIPS via email. At this point, our engineers will be able to upload the updated submittal file into our system and have that be accessible through QUIPS. So you'll access these special request submittals the same way you would a standard product.
Cool. Great question, Matt. And your reward for that is you actually have to pay double for your next project. So,
Oh, well, yeah, I really spun the wheel on that one, huh?
yeah.
It's brutal. Something else I want to show you guys really quick too. There's a provide feedback button. So we are still, and the project is going to roll out on June 3rd. But if there's any feedback you guys have, any potential, oversights you might see, or any other features you'd like to request, you can go ahead and hit this provide feedback button, and you can basically just describe, what is it you have feedback about. You can even attach a screenshot or something, and then just give us your name and your email, and we will take a look at that and get back to you as quick as we can. So thank you.
Right.
And building on that, so part of the effort with this relaunch was really a restructuring of QUIPS. QUIPS was initially released back in 2017, I believe, and it was really the product of one person. And throughout the last few years, it's been kind of patched together as our engineering team would do product updates. We integrated everything. And so this new version is allowing us to do updates much more frequently. So we've already got a slew of ideas of future updates to make. So there's going to be more on the way, especially in terms of usability and just making the projects that much easier to interact with.
Right. Great point.
Thank you, Mark.
Yeah, so we'll hang out here again. We've been live for about 22 minutes now. We'll hang out for another minute or two just to see if any of you pop anything in. If you have any questions that you think of down the line, feel free to reach out to me directly, marketing@QPAC.com. And I will make sure to pass that along to Salem, to Mark, or to whoever that might actually be. Again, you can also reach out to your account managers. Most of you, if not all of you, do have an account manager, and they'd be a great person to reach out to in terms of resource and at least, get an answer to you pretty quickly. So we're excited to launch this. We've been talking about this for a long time, and it's come to fruition, and there's been a lot of hard work done behind the scenes. We're really proud of our team for doing that. So it's a great chance for us to congratulate them. And if you see them around, maybe buy them a flower or a sleeve of cookies or something like that. But
yes, extra special shout out to Nick Tulip, Dustin Burt, Rehan Mohammed, all of our software engineers, and Mark, you as well. This has been a long time coming, and we are grateful to have you guys on the team. Thank you.
Absolutely. So now we'll just stare at you for one more minute. And again, this will be available online, YouTube, QPAC.com, under our unPAC channel. I'll put the marketing email again in the comments in case you need to send us any questions, whether that be about QUIPS or about the Impact Summit, October 17th.
Sweet. I guess I could always run through the whole thing again, if we really need to. Want another refresher there.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a great way to help some of you guys get out of doing some work. So we're happy to help. We're happy to be your daily distraction.
Yeah, really, we got another 7 minutes here if you really want to push it. So
that's true. Or again, we offered at the beginning, if any of you have a project you'd like to walk through,
a live selection.
That'd be great. We'd love to do it with you. So.
Just if you put a CFM TSB internal width and height and supply voltage in there, we can go through some selections. So
yeah, we could have just put ourselves in a position to get a really tough one, and we're going to really make you work, Salem. So,
oh no, good thing I've got QUIPS Reloaded to back me up. So bring it home.
Oh man. All right. Well, it doesn't look like we're going to get any questions. We really appreciate you all spending time with us today. Again, thanks. We'll have another one in June, another unPAC. We'll be launching some stuff about that soon so that you can see topic and speaker on that. Again, thanks for joining us, and we look forward to seeing what you all do with the new QUIPS.
All right. Thank you, Waverly.
Thanks, everyone.
Y'all have a good one.